happened 30 minutes ago clearly didn't bother them all that much. You can hear lions vocalizing now to the south of us. Sounds like they might be quite far though, the ones that I can hear vocalizing now. Betty, to answer your question, what did I do when the lions charged at me? Not a lot, to be honest. I froze immediately, which is actually the right thing to do. Yeah, when these cats charge at you, the last thing you want to do is run. Obviously, I still had the fence and the gate between myself and the lion. So I knew ultimately that they weren't going to be able to get to me. But you don't think like that when it's, in the moment. But yeah, I just froze and paused, and then he just stood there in the headlights of my vehicle, right in front of me. And then I reacted and shouted at the lions, hoping to get them to move off. And when I shouted at them, he actually charged a second time and came even closer with his second charge. And then I retreated somewhat, and then eventually just with clapping my hands and picking up a couple of rocks which I threw on the ground in front of the lions, that's what spooked them just enough for me to get in. So they retreated back to this position, and then I could open the gate and come in. Morning Shannon, morning Velma, lovely to have you with us. Certainly, Mary. Mary's just saying that I need to tell the story of these lions again. So, for those of you who missed it earlier, when I arrived at Painted Dog headquarters this morning, just before drive, I got to the last gate here, which is the entrance to the Rietspruit Game Reserve. You can see the gate in picture now. And I got out the car, as I do every single morning, and walked up to the gate to unchain the gate. And as I started unchaining the gate, I hadn't noticed two of these 3 male lions were sitting in the long grass just behind the gate, or to the side of the gate. And one of them exploded at me. So yeah, I got a full charge from one of the males, one of these 2 ginger males closest to us here. And yeah, so it was a very, very exciting wake-up call. I then shouted at the lions. The same male charged a second time, and then backed off slightly, and then I started clapping my hands and had to pick up a couple of rocks eventually, because he was just standing there in my headlights of my vehicle, flicking his tail, very upset, of course, that I had come walking up towards him. And then when I threw a couple of rocks and clapped my hands, they retreated just to this point here and gave me enough space to then enter the gate and get in safely. Quite the morning already. Morning, Kevin. I haven't copied anyone else out. I'm sitting with the 3 male lions, southwest corner of Blowbank at the gate.
Okay, and they're responding to those other 2 you see?
Yeah, affirmative. There was also a visual of a lioness when I came in. which I think is what attracted those two. And that lioness was on the side of the fence.
Okay, copy. Yeah, there were some lions out the other day, didn't saw them down that area, and they supposedly put them into the Blue Canyon, but maybe they're not from there.
Okay, copy that.
Out on Leopard. I didn't get any response earlier, but I hear now that there are people on the road. No wonder Kevin is on the road. Any updates? Yeah, Rolf, we've got 2 male lions on the southeast corner of Leopard near Hayes. And we're just talking about two young male lions on the road.
Absolutely amazing view we have here, everybody. You just wish you could take the gate, the fence and the power lines out of picture. It would be an amazing world if we could coexist with these animals without fences, that's for sure. But the reality is that certainly in this area where there's such a large population of human beings in close proximity to wildlife, the fences serve a very, very good purpose here. Yes, indeed, Betty. There's a number of sections along the Drakensberg here that often remind me of Table Mountain and some of the other mountain ranges, beautiful mountain ranges down in the Cape. It is one of the most picturesque game reserves I've ever worked on and lived on. It's quite unique, being on a private reserve with these wild animals with that incredible backdrop. Really special. The boys turning their heads here now. Might have heard something. So while I was driving in, everybody, there was a lioness that I also spotted on the Blue Canyon Conservancy, who I think attracted these males in the first place to this corner. And then obviously we've just heard other lions roaring further to the south. So I think the Blue Canyon Conservancy lions have all ended up coming this way as well overnight. Alrighty. Man on a mission. He's off. I'm sure it won't be long before certainly this male. Oh, here we go. Wow, just amazing. Whew, couldn't have asked for a better start to our day out here, everybody. Just incredible hearing these lions roar. Interesting to note the injured male at the back there. Once again, hasn't vocalized. When he's on a couple of occasions now, when he's been with his brothers, I've heard the two fitter males vocalizing and the injured male not vocalizing. It's interesting that he either doesn't feel the need to vocalize if his brothers are vocalizing, or is it that he's just conserving energy? takes quite a lot of energy to produce a roar like that. You can hear how guttural it is. All of their muscles in their bodies contract when they vocalize, when they roar. Maybe that's partly why he doesn't vocalize. Or is it also maybe because he doesn't want to draw attention to himself? That's also a possibility. He's got some fresh wounds on him, which I saw about 4 days ago now, when I was last with these males. Right on the front of his face were the wounds that I'd seen. So he's definitely had a rough contact with his brothers again. And so potentially why he's remaining silent when they start roaring. If he were to roar, it might invoke an attack from his two brothers. Just reading now that Jennifer's German Shepherd mix just started howling in response to these lions. That's amazing. Just now hearing the tail end of the other lions roaring further to the south. That's why this guy put his head up. Now the male that left us, everybody, is already 400 yards down the fence line and moving steadily away from us. So it won't be long, I'm sure, before this one closest to us here is going to get up and follow. Or not. Well, they've clearly had an eventful night, these lions. Very sleepy. Probably been marching up and down this fence line the whole night, vocalizing, possibly even interacting with the other lions on the other side. I can no longer see the other male lion here along the fence line behind us. Not too sure if he's still moving or whether he's laid down. I'm going to head that way shortly, try catch up with him. To answer your question about leopards climbing those fences, a leopard can climb a fence. I've seen them do it. But to be honest with you, they more often than not just go under the fence. There are a lot of gaps under these fences. You know, a leopard needs just the smallest gap to get through. A gap which is often created by warthogs, and sometimes hyena will dig under a fence. Even a leopard will dig to get under a fence. And if they struggle to find a gap or a hole under the fence, then what they'll do is they just move along the fence line until they find a tree that's close to the fence, and they'll climb the tree and just jump over. So yeah, there's no stopping a leopard, that's for sure. Lions have a much more difficult time getting through the fences because of obviously their size. But even lions do get through these fences from time to time and escape and cause chaos in the community. Oh, just look at this view, the sky, the beautiful clouds, painted pink by the morning sunrise coming up now. I was waiting for that, Michael. Yeah, my goodness, were we spoilt the other day. Jeez, I couldn't believe it. A male leopard in a tree, and he sat there for 5 minutes for us. It was absolutely unforgettable. First time I've ever, out on a game drive, seen a leopard up in a tree here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. And man, is he beautiful. Absolutely stunning young male leopard. I guess that he's probably somewhere between 2.5 to 3 years old, this male. And he actually has been seen a couple of times on the Rietspruit Reserve. He was misidentified by the people that had seen him as a female. But it's certainly a young male leopard. And yeah, Michael, it was just unreal. Absolutely incredible. I mean, it's been months since I've seen a leopard, and then to find one or see one in a tree like that was just exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. Certainly made my week. Hopefully the first of many sightings of leopards in trees for us on the Rietspruit Game Reserve, although I suspect, because we'd actually just found one of these male lions sleeping in the riverbed quite close to where we eventually saw that leopard in the tree. I suspect the reason that leopard was in the tree was because of the lion. I think that the lion had probably picked up on him, gone and chased him, and that leopard ended up in this massive knobthorn tree, and he was just waiting to be certain that the nearby before he descended. But yeah, he Can you hear me now, Basil?
Yeah.
And I did nothing to the bike, eh? Yeah, I think he eventually came out of the tree, everybody, because the male lion I was talking about that was sleeping in the riverbed started vocalizing, and then also add to the fact that there were 2 vehicles there. It's not entirely relaxed yet, that young male leopard with vehicles. So eventually he came out of the tree and moved off. We did get one last look at him as he was trying to move off. But I could tell from the second time we saw him when he was on the ground that he was a little bit unrelaxed, a little bit nervous, because when we came past him, he did what leopards do so well, and he went flat to the ground and was trying to conceal himself in the little bit of grass that he had for cover. But it wasn't enough, and eventually he got up and sheepishly trotted away from us. But yeah, absolutely amazing. I'd love to go find that leopard now for you all this morning, once we move on from here. Okay, everybody, I'm going to head down the fence line. I want to go and catch up with the other male, see if he's laid down there or whether he's continued marching. These two don't look like they're going anywhere fast. Thanks for the early morning wake up charge, boys. I think I see a male lion's head up ahead, so that's the reason I couldn't see him before. I think he's laid down just beyond one of the bolsters here, beyond the long grass here. Yeah, that's him. He's just sitting there wondering why his lazy brothers haven't come to join him yet. Oh, now he's up. It's like, oh, fine, I'll just wait here for you then. Oh, isn't that a beautiful shot? Wow. Absolutely incredible. So I actually think it was that male lion that charged me at the gate, everybody. And I think he is the most dominant of the three. He's got the most testosterone, most aggressive of the three. This one here. Grumpy chap, although you can't blame him. Cannot blame him for being grumpy. They feel completely threatened and vulnerable when they see human beings on foot, and especially at that proximity. When we track these lions on foot and we find them on foot, very often we find them at a distance, or rather see them at a distance, 50, 60 yards, and they'll certainly raise their heads out of the grass and watch you, and might even then retreat from that distance without a charge. But when you surprise them at those close proximities, their immediate instinct is to charge and defend themselves, because they get a fright and they feel vulnerable. And they never follow through. They never actually jump on you and devour you, as a lot of people often think will happen. It's just a natural instinct of a wild animal that feels threatened by a human being to charge and defend themselves and try chase you off and try scare you. And so these charges come close, really close. Even if there wasn't a fence, they'll come very close. A lion will charge to within, especially if you don't move off, eventually charge to within 3 or 4 feet of you, trying to get you to back away. But ultimately the lion will turn and hightail it and move away from you. It's still terrifying though, every time it happens. Jennifer, similar to male silverback gorillas. Well, silverback gorillas are males. The females don't have those silverbacks, and it's the big dominant male gorillas that'll have those silverbacks. And yes, they can be aggressive and charge. Although in my experiences, when I've done safaris up in Rwanda, tracking the gorillas, it's interesting with a silverback. It's not often a charge. What they'll do is they come walking toward you. Obviously, the families of gorillas that I've had experiences with are habituated, but of course still wild. And you just need to be completely submissive to these silverbacks when they come up close to you. You literally need to almost get into the fetal position, so lower your entire body down to the ground, bend over, get down on your haunches, and just let the male silverback come right past you, and don't move, don't make any sound, and there's very seldomly aggression. But I do know that they can charge, and ultimately that's what a lot of animals do. You know, the gorillas, the lions, the rhino, the elephants, cheetah, leopard. A lot of animals use the tactic of a charge to intimidate something they find threatening, to try and get you to move away so that they feel comfortable again. All lions sleeping. Yeah, what a gorgeous sunrise, everybody. Just going to roll a bit more forward just so we can get a bit closer to the grumpy fellow down here. Wonderful. Now we can sit here and enjoy both this beautiful male and the amazing sunrise. So beautiful. And just look, Basil, how the sun is lighting up the cliff faces here below Rietspruit, this prominent high point of the Klein Drakensberg here called Rietspruit. So beautiful. Watching it being lit up by this morning sun. I'm just busy reading Di's comment, stunning mane, but can't help but wondering what lives in us. Yeah, I'm sure there are a couple of creatures, creepy crawlies inside that mane from time to time, although they do a pretty good job of keeping themselves clean. But my son, my 3-year-old boy, has got a book that I read to him. I forget the title now, but the character is Monty the lion and his beautiful mane, and he's friends with a family of meerkats, and these meerkats play in his mane and fiddle with his mane and put feathers in his mane. It's a very funny story, and my son absolutely loves it. He can recite the entire book now. He's so fond of it. Poor old Monty, being bothered by the meerkats. You see how the lions are also resting this morning, how they're sleeping this morning. They are all curled up. And that's because it's quite cold this morning for us out here. It's a chilly 17 degrees Celsius, but there's a very chilly breeze as well. Bit of a cold front that came with the recent rain that we had. Just beautiful listening to the birds. Ringneck dove calling there. Peaceful. Alright everybody, well it's certainly been a heck of an exciting start for me, but for all of us, so wonderful to have spent this time with these beautiful males, and wonderful to have had them roaring like that around us as well. But they look pretty settled in, everybody. I think this is them for the day. This will be where they rest today, I reckon. Sun will be up higher very soon and it'll start getting warm. Clear day, so I don't think these lions are going anywhere fast. So we're going to head off, everybody. We'll leave them in peace now and go see what else we can find. Maybe we'll find that leopard in the tree, Michael. Cheers, Grumpy. Hopefully you and I don't do that little dance again anytime soon. Jennifer, to answer your question, do they ever make use of any lion dens on the property as adults, like to use for sleeping? No. Lions don't have dens like a lot of other animals do, you know, like the warthogs, the hyenas, wild dogs. And wild dog and hyena actually only use their dens when they have their young, their cubs or their pups. A lioness will initially den with her cubs, her newborn cubs, and she'll just keep them in a safe little den area, what we call a den. Sometimes it'll just be a thicket of bushes or a rocky outcrop where there are lots of little caves and crevices for the cubs to crawl into, but that's only for the first, usually maximum 6 weeks really. And then those cubs will be introduced to the pride, and they then just sleep anywhere when they're moving around with the pride. So no, lions don't use dens. Top of the food chain helps as well. You know, they don't have much to worry about, so they literally sleep anywhere where there's good shade and a good breeze. Looks like a bird of prey in the tree up ahead here. I'm just going to stop here briefly before I get any closer, just to try identify it before it flies off. Is it a bird of prey? Ah, well, it was. It was an accipiter, one of the smaller birds of prey. Almost looked like a kestrel. Or possibly a falcon. Unfortunately, those two species are usually quite shy. Birds that spend a lot of time on the wing. Flighty, nervous birds. Looked like it came down toward the road here. Moved on. There's another dead tree just here at Mamba Dam. This little accipiter may have landed in this dead tree. We'll go have a look there. Keen to pop into Mamba Dam anyways and see who's about. Jeez, I can't believe how cold it is this morning, eh? I should have worn long pants. Sheesh. Incredible. You'd swear it's the middle of winter, not the middle of summer. Nah, that little bird of prey sadly didn't come and perch in this dead tree. This waterhole is full to the brim. Ah, there's our little grebe. I was looking for him. So just on the far side of the water, you see that grey dead tree, Basil? He's in the grass at the water's edge, below that dead tree and further to the left. You can see him in picture now. There he is. Yeah, he's going this way. He's going left out of your picture now. There, in the middle. Here we go. Oh, busy saying hello to a white-faced whistling duck. Not often you get the two of them in the same shot. Now, these birds might be nesting here. Wonderful. Michael, no, this is Mamba Dam, the dam closest to camp. Betty, to answer your question about the pack drive, I'm not entirely sure. Jana, if you can copy us at FC, is there a pack drive tomorrow? Betty says she hasn't received an email. If you can just let us know. I'm not sure if there is a pack drive tomorrow, but I'm sure Jana will help us out, Betty. Right, there we go, Betty. I have just got word from Jana. She informed me that there is definitely going to be a pack drive tomorrow, which is very exciting. And yeah, the emails will be sent out. Apparently the emails can only be sent out 24 hours before that pack drive. So you should receive your email for the drive sometime this evening. Our stations, I've left those 3 male lions. They're still stationary on the southern fence of Blaubank near the old airstrip near Hayes, so the southwestern corner. Yeah, that's affirmative.
Okay, copy. I'm going to leave this elephant bull shortly. Just on bark. The tree just northeast of the Sunslope of this crossing.
Sorry, Kevin, which crossing on Sunslope?
On the Rietspruit crossing on the Sunslope riverbed. It's just northeast of it. He's feeding on bark of some trees.
Okay, copy, thanks. Alrighty. Lovely sighting of that little grebe and the white-faced duck. Very nice. Now for a leopard in a tree with this gorgeous morning light, the golden hour. Talking about that sighting of that young male leopard we had the other day, everybody, that that same leopard was actually seen the very next night moving around the houses on Leadwood. Aardvark across the road here, heading north. Yeah, that leopard actually ended up walking right past my brother's house the very next night. So I think his territory is predominantly further to the north. I think that he is probably regularly either bumping into or picking up on the signs, the scent or the vocalizing of the blowbunk male, the dominant male here in the south of the reserve. So you probably find that he's more likely to be found further to the north. We hope, of course, that he will be able to establish territory here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve. And if he is going to do that, he's going to need to do it up there in the north, possibly even further to the east of the reserve. He's still too young, inexperienced, and small in size to be challenging the current dominant, larger male down here in the south, who I often refer to as the ghost. So I told you earlier, everybody, that I had fresh tracks of an aardvark crossing the road. And you can see here where that aardvark has been digging, looking for food, looking for termites. Fresh diggings here of that aardvark. You can actually see the claw marks in the soft sand behind the hole, just there, where that aardvark was standing here digging. It's the most amazing thing to watch. I've been lucky enough to only have seen it once in my life in the Kalahari, watching an aardvark actually digging, searching for termites. You'll be shocked at how quickly they do it, how fast they will dig these holes. They have such powerful front limbs with very hard, extended fingernails. I'm talking literally 3 inches of hard, thick nail. So they make light work of not even just these, these soils around here are really soft at the moment because of the recent rain, so it would have been very easy to dig a hole like that. But even a hard, compacted, matured termite mound, how quickly they can dig into the side of one of those is quite remarkable. And that's what I got to see in the Kalahari, was this aardvark digging into a termite mound. It's incredible to watch. I like how you're just throwing that out there, Michael. A baby aardvark. Yes, please. Yes, please. That's something I've never seen before. There's a mongoose on the road up ahead there. Slender mongoose by the looks of things. Yeah, look at that. So cool. Usually a very shy creature, solitary species, the slender mongoose. A bird's worst nightmare. These little slender mongoose are specialists at finding birds' nests and eating their chicks, even adult birds that are sitting on the nest. It's not the only thing they eat. They're insectivores as well, so they eat a lot of insects. Sure, that aardvark was busy along the road here. See the tracks here now, a little bit clearer of that aardvark, everybody. You can actually see the front foot, how it registers. You see the 3 toes here. what you're actually looking at here is there's definitely a pad underneath that long nail that I was telling you about, but a lot of this is the nail. And these perfect, looks like three little sausages sitting next to each other here. That aardvark walking up along the road here, you can see the tracks registering along the road there. I've spoken about it so many times here on the Rietspruit. There is an abundance of aardvark on this property. We see signs every single drive we go out, and fresh signs. Now, I can tell you now, it's just a matter of time, everybody, and we will eventually bump into one here. The best thing is if you can spot it from a distance and not spook it, then it's amazing. You'll, especially with our awesome camera, you'll be able to watch that aardvark for a while. If it doesn't know you're there, it's just so cool to then watch them do what they do.
We are right now on Mayala.
They do have really good hearing though, very good eyesight, an insane sense of smell, which is obviously how they locate their prey, their food. But sometimes you get lucky and you're behind them, obviously, when you first spot them and the wind's blowing the right direction and they don't hear you, they don't smell you. And then you can just sit and observe from a distance. Not seeing that aardvark's tracks moving along the road here. I'm just going to go back and go up the other road. That aardvark might have moved up this way. You never know, guys, especially at this time of the morning when it's still early, when it's still chilly. Could get lucky and bump into this guy or girl. Let's see if we find any tracks up here. Yeah, no, Betty, they don't have retractable claws. The aardvarks. With the grasses as high as they are at the moment, that aardvark only needs to go 3 or 4 yards off the road and we drive right by it. Very easy to miss. that animal this time of the year with the grasses flourishing the way they are. Also not seeing tracks on the road anymore, so that animal has moved off-road. Quite a lot of termite mounds that I'm driving past here, everybody. Probably why that aardvark's off the road. Came to investigate. These termite mounds feed on the termites here. Lovely big patch of open soil up ahead here though, where two roads intersect. Just go have a look, see if there's any sign there before moving on. Jeez. The grass is taller than my head where I'm driving right now. Just listen to the birds here, everybody. These yellow-breasted canaries are the ones that are calling mostly here. Long-billed crombeck as well. Just beautiful. Stelling's wren warbler. Common scimitable. Birds are loving life now that the rains have gone and sun's come out. Such a gorgeous morning. Well, I think our aardvark is happily munching on some termites somewhere in the block here, everybody. There's no further signs.
Kevin, if you're still on look with that elephant, I'd like to stop, please. About 3 minutes on.
Betty, no, the birds back there, the ones that I was mentioning, most of them were actually calling a distance away from me. I did see one of the yellow fronted canaries, but it was brief. It just hopped up into a tree and then flitted down to the ground again. Tough when they go down onto the ground this time of the year as well, with the grasses the way they are. But we'll certainly keep a lookout for other birds for you that we might spot and be able to get on camera. The bird calling here, which would be amazing to get on camera. It's a grey-headed bushveld. You can hear his call now. Usually quite a shy bird. There it is. You see it, Basil? Wow, look at that. See if we can get him on camera. Most beautiful colours on this bird. Same spot. There he goes. Beautiful orange on the breast, and the feathers over the head are grey in colour, hence the name, grey-headed bushveld. Birding's tough though. It's tough to get them in picture. They move around so much and the foliage is so dense. Not so easy capturing them on film, that's for sure. Lovely call though, often referred to as the ghost bird. Love that call. The bird there, Basil, on the side of the tree there. Oh, pity. Working his way back to the outer edges of the tree. It's a redback shrike that we've got here, everyone. And a beautiful little bird. Love the black eye stripe that runs through the eye. And then a coppery sort of reddish colour to the feathers on the wing and on the back. Redback shrike.
First one look with the elephant bull.
Michael, no, I thought Andrew's favourite bird was the red-chested cuckoo. The Piet Mevrou. I think the grey-headed bushveld is Jana's favourite. That's her favourite bird. Beautiful tree that this redback shrike is sitting in here, everybody. Purple pod cluster leaf, one of the terminalias. Most beautiful purple pods on this tree. The shrike will often just sit on the edges of the trees like this, waiting to pick up on the movement of insects. Emerald spotted wood dove calling now as well. Dark cat bulbul. I love how he bobs and sways with the movement of the tree and the wind. He's probably hoping for a bit more sunshine as well, just to warm up a bit. Very lovely. Do me for Gareth.
Gareth, 48, southwest. On all entry. And then one on the top, and
just slowly making our way down towards one of the little water holes here, everybody. Oh, there's a pretty bird. Can you see it there? Stunning. Oh, there he goes. That was a brief but beautiful sighting of a brown-hooded kingfisher, everybody. Just saying, now we're just making our way down towards this little waterhole, which is my next port of call. Just going to go and have a look around there, see what birds might be about, see if there are any leopard or black rhino tracks. Maybe we'll get a leopard tortoise. Often get leopard tortoises at Kudu Krip as well. Takes me back to the last leopard tortoise that Basil and I saw was one that had been eaten by the lioness that we recently darted and treated with a new batch of contraception. slow releasing capsules which were implanted subcutaneously into her neck. What a day that was. Challenging and rewarding. Amazing day. My son Harrison was fascinated by the whole story. Particularly concerned about the leopard tortoise that got eaten by the lion. He told me that lions mustn't eat tortoises. This is what Harrison tells me. I had to explain to him that lions will eat anything they can get their paws on, my boy. They aren't very fussy. Well, that's not entirely true, actually. It's interesting, we have bush pig that are also in certain parts of the reserve quite abundant here on the Rietspruit Game Reserve, particularly the riverbeds. I once came across a family of probably 8 or 9 bush pig, mostly active at night, and that's when I saw this family of bush pig. It was dark, I was out on a family drive on Leopard, and this is actually a couple of years ago now. An amazing sighting of this family of bush pig, but they have some glands across their body which give off a very foul smell and taste, and every now and then lion and leopard will kill these bush pig and then leave them completely untouched. They don't feed on the meat, which is quite interesting. And the same behavior has been observed right across the country where these bush pigs coexist with predators. It's quite amazing. You know, these cats will pick up on the movement, they see a pig, and they certainly love eating warthog, which look very similar to the bush pig. And so anyway, pick up on the movement, kill the animal, and then very quickly, once they bite into that animal, get that foul taste in their mouth, and then don't consume the bush pig. It's quite interesting. There's another slender mongoose on the road up ahead there. Love how they scurry away a yard or two and then look back. Oh, that was cool. Up on his back legs there, getting a good look at us before he ducks off. But of course, when the big cats don't eat their bush pig, you know, the other scavengers, the other carnivores will come along and finish it off. Looks like some zebras were playing on the road here. I'm just going to quickly pause here, everybody, and just have a look for tracks. Can hear our male lions roaring behind us. Just seen some objects on the road up ahead here, everybody. I just want to get my binoculars and have a quick look before I get too excited. There you go. I'm glad I got the binoculars out before I showed all of you my objects. My objects are a couple big balls of elephant dung which are casting a shadow across the road, way up that road there. It looked like something was lying on the road, sleeping on the road. I thought it might have been the hyenas, because that's the road where I last saw those two spotted hyena. But just some lovely piles of elephant poop. It would be lovely to bump into the Ellies. Sure. Cold shiver. Cold chill. Cannot believe the temperature this morning. Right, what is in store for us at Kudu Krip this morning? Just reading your guys' comments about my boy and his mind and the way he interprets the bush. It's amazing. It really is. Their little minds are just so special. Untainted. The most incredible imagination. And what a joy for Kate and I to raise our boy in the bush here. It is a privileged, remarkable life. Couldn't imagine raising him anywhere else on earth, to be honest. Beautiful around here at the moment. So lush, so green. See the foam nest that's been created by the foam nest frog here above the water? That looks like a new one. A big one. I'm sure full of eggs. Maybe even full of little tadpoles that are about to drop into the water. Not all that recent, actually. Looks like it's become quite hard. So it probably is full of eggs, and it won't be long before these little tadpoles drop. I can see thousands of tadpoles in this pond. They're all just lined up against the inside of the wall here from previous successful nests. No tracks of anybody else having come to this waterhole recently. There is water all over the reserve, of course, with the rains. Di, to answer your question, was Kate brought up in the bush as well? No, not quite. She was exposed to it. Every now and then her parents would take her to the national park, the Kruger National Park. When she was a young girl of 12 years of age, her family immigrated to the UK. And Kate lived in the UK for 12 years before she then eventually moved back to South Africa, following her older brother. So her older brother Chris was quite into biology, natural sciences, farm management, and wanted to pursue that sort of career. So he moved back to South Africa and took a job at Londolozi, one of the famous private game reserves here in South Africa, as a junior guide, and got his teeth stuck into guiding for a while, and eventually worked his way up to where he currently is. And he is currently the reserve manager, ecologist and habitat manager for Londolozi. So he's in charge of that entire property now, which is quite an achievement, and he does an amazing job. But anyway, long story short, Kate was missing home, and so she got a call from her brother to say that there was a position opening up in her field. So Kate has a diploma as a PA, and so she then joined Londolozi as PA to the CEO, and she worked for 8 years as his PA, and got to then really appreciate the bush, wildlife, and this sort of lifestyle, this way of living. So she worked at Londolozi for 8 years before I went and stole her from Londolozi. She then worked with me at And Beyond for a year while I was still guiding for And Beyond, and then we moved on to Singita, and yeah, so she has fallen in love with it, and she's been working in the safari industry just as long as I have, about 14 years. Still does work for Singita. Yeah, but she absolutely loves it. She particularly loves being on foot. She loves walking, and particularly loves walking amongst elephants. Very interesting set of tracks here, everybody. Male and female leopard. The male marked his territory up against this quarry bush here. I can tell that because of the angle of the track. So what he would have done is that the male was walking on this side, the female was walking on that side of the road, and the male would have come in and brushed his bum, his face first, and then his bum up against this quarry, raised his tail and jetted out some urine, and then he's placed his front right paw right here as he was walking away, and the female's walking on that side. Pretty damn exciting. So this is the male here. I mean, that's 3/4 the length of my hand, the male leopard's track here. I turned the car hoping to show it to you a bit better. I don't know how well you can see this one here. This is another paw print in the center of that circle of the male. Can't really see the female's tracks here now because of the substrate and the shadows. But that is epic. Looks like last night, maybe early last night, middle of last night at most. These two leopards were walking along the road here, everybody. That's very exciting. Potentially mating. That is very exciting. Right, I didn't see any tracks back at that waterhole, so those leopards I don't think stopped there for a drink, but they are heading south, everybody. So I'm just going to go south from here with the time we have left and see if we have any luck. Now if they are mating, we of course might get lucky and actually hear them mating. So let's move along this way, guys. I'm going to go check the riverbed. The Sunsloot River is just down here, and I know that both of these leopards often walk along the Sunsloot River, so I'm just going to look for signs along there, and may end up going down further south towards Leopard Dam. Big waterhole in the south here, where they may have headed as well. Just interesting. I wonder which female this is. Maybe it's the Kudu-Krip 4-3 female that's followed the male down here, because I am convinced that the Kudu-Krip 2-3 female is pregnant. Now I'm also convinced that this is the blowbunk male whose tracks we have here. Judging by the size of those prints, the young male leopard that I had the other day in that tree, his prints, his tracks won't be as big as this yet. Carol, to answer your question, I don't think so. I might pick up, well, I'm definitely going to pick up the camera trap this weekend, whether or not it's this afternoon or sometime tomorrow, but I am definitely going to pick it up at some stage. I'm on all of the drives this weekend, so I will find a gap somewhere. I might just leave it till tomorrow though, so we've got more time, more evidence on that camera trap. Might even find images of both of these leopards now together on that camera trap. Wouldn't that be incredible? Yes, that would be amazing footage to capture. No tracks of these leopards here, so I think they definitely turned back there by that waterhole. Didn't continue along the road here, so they've gone off. Let's quickly check down here in the Sunsloot River. Still water trickling along the Sunsloot River here. More or less trickle, but amazing how much water there is. I see you've been down here recently, Basil.
No, definitely.
It looks like our tire tracks.
Oh, Brent was
Must have been Brent. Was he out with Andrew?
yeah.
Yeah. Those are our tyre tracks there. Joffers. There's no tracks of the leopards there. I'm just going to check a little bit further along this road, everybody. Yes, me too, Carol. Can't wait to see what we've captured on that camera trap. Would love to have footage of that young male. Might even pick up the blowbunk male, and then of course my main aim is to try get more footage of the pregnant female leopard we captured the first time in that area. Tracks, yeah. There are 2 points up ahead here, everybody, which I want to check now for the tracks of these leopards. Just to see if they've gone any further south. This is the main drag, the main road that takes you down towards that large waterhole I just spoke of. And then once again we go through the Sandsloot River beyond that point. And look for any signs there. Otherwise, if there's nothing here, then possibly they've headed west towards Lemundoring. And we'll head that way after here. Another very special bird call, that, the emerald spotted wood dove. Such a somber call. They sound so sad. Beautiful little dove. No tracks here. Still nothing. So we're eventually going to end up basically just doing a full circle around where we last had tracks of these leopards. We're getting pretty much close to the point where we've closed the circle, so hoping we'll find tracks pretty soon. I think they might have gone west. So I'm now back at the point, everyone, where I spotted the elephant poop, which was just a little ways up the road there. I didn't notice any leopard tracks when I was off the vehicle earlier, but I think they might have come up this direction. Michael, certainly. I think that's a real possibility. And Jan is probably reading your comments. But I'll definitely chat to her about it when I get back to camp as well. Yeah, it'd be cool to put all the... What are you looking at there, Basil? Not sure. They're small. No, it's not baboon. Porcupine. Old porcupine tracks there. Good spotting. Oh, there's a giraffe in the road. There's two giraffe in the road. Hello, Raffies. Having a bit of breakfast, are we? Oh, that's lovely. Busy enjoying the leaves of a red bush willow. New leaves, of course. Full of nutrients. Looks like it's two male giraffe that we have here, everyone. Sorry, Mary, I see you made a comment about zebra earlier. I assume that was maybe tracks. I missed that. Not too sure. That male giraffe's got a particularly pretty tail, or rather tail hair. Looks like someone gave him a perm on the tail hair. Look at that. Very curvy, very wavy tail hair on that male giraffe. Good show, old chap. Looking rather sharp this morning. Can just now smell the giraffe. Giraffe have a very distinctive smell to them.
Good morning.
Mary, you thought you heard a zebra calling while I was out walking. Yes, you did hear a zebra calling. The zebra was me. It's something that I picked up from my father. He has, he perfected the zebra call with a whistle, and he's been whistling that sound ever since I was a baby. So it's something that I do without even thinking about it. I do it all the time. The zebra call. Love that sound. Obviously, always reminds me of my dad as well. You are certainly beautiful, young chap. Most exquisite markings on that animal. It's a whole journey here. Hello, girls. Hadn't even spotted these beautiful ladies on the side of the road here. Lovely seeing them in this light. Interesting to note the different tones in the colours here. The middle giraffe being very light, and the two either side of her quite a bit darker. Different genetics, of course. Beautiful beasts. How wonderful are those markings, everybody? Nature is truly amazing with how it's all put together. But of course, those markings serve a very valuable purpose in camouflaging the giraffe. When they stand frozen and they've spotted a predator, they blend into the bush, breaks up their body outline. Oxpecker. Red-billed, I think. Oh, it's a juvenile. Awesome. I love watching them shuffle like that. They literally crawl along the giraffe's back. They've got amazing grip in those little claws of theirs, these oxpeckers. Amazing. You look at that bird, everybody, and you wouldn't think it's an oxpecker with its coloration. Obviously, it's still a juvenile. Hasn't got its full adult plumage yet. Lovely stuff. Enjoy your morning, ladies. It's been a pleasure.
Our lines pretty much so on Brent, just east of 6 decimal.
There's that beautiful emerald spotted wood dove calling again there, everybody. I was right. These leopards did go west. So they crossed the road here, everybody. Or at least one of them. Looks like the female. No, they're both here. There's tracks on both sides of the road, but you can clearly see the track here of the female. Right there, that's her front paw. And the males walked on the other side there. Very, very exciting indeed, everybody. Well, I tell you what, we know what we have planned for this afternoon. We're going to continue searching for these leopards. These tracks look even better than the set of tracks we had before. Because of course, if they are mating, which is very likely because they're still together here, they don't move massive distances. You know, the male will want to continue doing his thing and patrolling his territory, but that female stops him all the time. She cuts him off to obviously copulate. And so they move short distances before they'll copulate. They lay down, obviously a little bit exhausted after each copulation. And so they slowly, gradually move through the male's territory while she continues to follow him, and they mate for a period of 4 or 5 days. So the chances are these two leopards are somewhere very close by here. My gut would say they're probably in this block behind us here, everybody. And so that is going to be our MO for the afternoon. I'm very excited about it. But sadly, folks, we have run out of time for the morning safari. It's been a goodie. It's been lots of fun. And yeah, we've certainly loved sharing it with you. Loved that moment with the lions this morning. Some of the birds, the tracks, the mongoose. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. Have a fantastic evening or day, wherever you are in the world. And I really hope that some of you might be able to join us this afternoon as we head back out to this area to hopefully track and find these two leopards. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you very soon.